It's the second time I've done it. Thank you so much. What a bloody fool. I've done that before to a lovely stick too.
Once a fortnight, Tigey drives from her home to the hairdresser's, clocking up an annual mileage of 16 miles.
If your legs don't work, how do you get there? I'd have to get a taxi to take me there, wouldn't I?
What, taxi for 200 metres?
Exactly.
And how do you feel about that?
Well, I wouldn't want to do it. I like having my independence. I hate being old.
In 1906, there were 45,000 cars in Britain. Today, there are around 30 million. Bill Collett was 17 before roundabouts were built, and 20 before traffic lights were introduced.
There she is, bless her. Oh, I remember her when she was a girl. I'm so pleased to know that you are celebrating your 100th birthday on 3rd of May 2006. I send my congratulations and best wishes to you on such a special occasion. I'd rather be 60.
Bill is not alone. In the UK, there are around...
1, 2, 3.
Make a wish.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to you.
Right. When I was a little boy, the roads were covered with horse dung because most things were drawn by horses. Only very rich people had cars when I was a little boy. Lucky if you had a bicycle in those days. The average wage in those days was only about £1 a week. I like driving a Robin Reliant. Well, they're easy to drive, they're comfortable, and people think that they're not real cars, of course, but I don't worry what they think.
It's been over 30 years since Ronnie gave up on the idea of passing his driving test. In a last-ditch attempt to go legal, Ronnie is working his way through a course of lessons.
That was when I was 15. That's around about the time when I was first nicking the cars. I just come out the ring there and I knocked this fella out in the second round. That's a photograph of when I was 32, when I was robbing banks. Lovely days. I had a couple of lessons, but the car wasn't the sort of cars we drove.
Right, with the handbrake, make sure that when you're applying it, you push the button in without making that crunchy noise.
Oh, yeah. Like on the brake, for instance, you got a button. Well, on the brake years ago, you had a lever.
That wasn't quite in neutral.
Oh, was it?
No. So, as I was saying, you've done that again, yeah?
Well, I never used to have that years ago, the button on it. I thought I drove quite all right. I wasn't at all nervous, but I didn't fancy going through 12, 14 lessons and then going for a test and being failed. My driving days are now finished, and I'll just let my wife drive. And at 73, I think, time to quit.
For Tigey, the decision to give up her car is not so clear-cut.
I mean, I'm going to give it up. When? I mean, I think about all of it. I think next week, next month, next year. I don't know what I'm going to do. Very happy memories. Lovely memories.
Driving has enabled Tigey to lead a life of independence and adventure.
When I was in my 50s, I used to go all over Spain watching bullfighting. All the photos are my bullfighting photographs. I mean, the pageantry, it's like being keen on the horses. All the people, we were fascinated by all the people there. And there's me there with fighting a bull.
Weren't you nervous when you went up against the bull?
Of course I was nervous, terrified. But I had a good, strong drink. Gasolina, they said to me. Putting petrol in the car. I'm in a very lucky position of I don't give a fig if I have my license taken away. I have no feelings about the car at all.
Are you sure?
I have no feelings about the car. No, none whatever. It's only made of tin or steel. No, it doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it is. I mean, I mean, I will have a feeling about giving up my driving, but not actually the car. I'm not interested in the car.
You're looking forward to a run this afternoon, lovely day, and the old brute is running beautifully.
I never quite know whether you're talking about the car or your wife.
Two old dears.
What, you in the car? It all comes down to a car in the end, I think, whether, you know, whether we have one or you get very attached to them. And we're just wondering how long Eric will be able to drive.
Well, I think when I can no longer drive, I shall depart this world in a more suitable vehicle with a neat oak box with turned brass handles and my sword and my medals on the top. In 3 years, I should have been a member of the Rolls-Royce Enthusiast Club for 50 years, and I shall be 95 years old. After that, they can do what they like with me.
It's almost like a little death. It's an end of something which you no longer do again. It's as though a bit of your life has been chopped off.
Had you not had the car, your life would have been...
If I'd not had the car,
yes.
then life would have been absolutely deadly.
Yes, I mean, because you carried on, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I carried on.
With your life and your theatre going and your shopping.
Oh, yes,
and
yes, I
everything.
managed to do everything.
Did everything.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Oh, thank you, darling.
OK, right, whoops.
OK.
Right, you've got this.
Yes,
knackers.
I've got them both.
OK.
I've got them both, OK. Oh, I think what I'd like to do now is a long rest.
Yes.
Quite
Okay,
exhausting.
Well done.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, dear, I'm getting weak now.
Margaret has handed over her keys to her 17-year-old grandson, who's learning to drive. Eric and Grace have recently celebrated their 68th wedding anniversary and have clocked up another year with the car. Tigey still drives to the hairdresser's once a fortnight, but she plans to give up her car at Christmas. Ronnie Diamond continues to rely on taxis and lifts from his wife. Sadly, 95-year-old racer Tom Delaney has died since the making of this film. He was driving competitively until shortly before his death and is still the oldest man ever to have held a racing license.
Anne Ming's daughter was murdered 17 years ago. Next week on One Life, we follow Anne on her campaign to change the double jeopardy law so that the murderer can finally